Thanks for tuning in to the Campaigns of the Plains channel. Catch new material every Friday on YouTube and make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Now, on with the show.
And welcome back to Campaigns of the Plains. Last time, guys, the team had just finished up dealing with Ifrit and had taken a short rest in the bathhouse before heading on over to Sparks University to speak with a couple of professors about a multitude of things, specifically the Allegan alloy that has currently been traveling along Milos' body, as well as the cursed scythe that Asher currently has. It seemed like the professor was able, or would be able to, perform a surgery to remove the metal from Milos' body. And also, it seems like there's another professor that is willing to take a look at the cursed item that is currently attached to Asher. So the party kind of split its ways a little bit, with Din and Ellie deciding to go along with Asher. Ellie, trying to catch one of the mechanical birds flitting around campus, actually caught something quite different. A small messenger from Grand Maester Gregorius of the church in Adalos, telling her that conditions looked dire in the city, as it seemed like the Pyreflies in the city were going nowhere, no matter how many sendings were being performed, and that it seemed like Vizier Araj had usurped the title of Grand Maester and was heading up the church, as well as apparently dealing with a woman in a half-mask. So Maester said that he had sent word ahead to Saphras for Ellie to be able to get to the Temple of Leviathan, so that way she could complete her pilgrimage there, as well as perhaps send some help for equipment to deal with this threat. On their way out of the professor's study, Becky and Milos and Marquies were approached by a shadow that crept along the hallway and left a letter for Marquies, a letter from his other self, stating that he had unlocked some memories about a family named Ravendall, currently in Saphras, and that if he wants to ensure their safety, that he should head there himself to turn over his body. So, we will pick up from there. So, three of you just encountered this. Marquies, you read the letter. Are you sharing it all, or are you tucking away?
So it's... I don't remember who's here.
It's Becky and Milos.
Okay. Well, it appears that I have business Saphras now.
Didn't we before?
Well, I have new business, at least personal, now.
Okay, well, we had to go there anyway. Queena told us to check that place out because it's been liberated, and I know Ellie had to talk to someone at the library, and she has Leviathan there.
It's the author of Marquis books that everyone's talked to.
Yeah, so I mean, we're planning on going to Saphras anyway, so it makes sense that we would do where... do you have a specific place in Saphras you need to go, or is it just the city itself?
I guess I don't know if it said anything. I don't think it
didn't say any specifics, no.
There's really no specifics on where in Saphras, but...
Well, hopefully we find your thing while we're in the city, but it's quite a ways. It's if I remember correctly, DM, it's like a week or two's journey.
Yeah, it is probably by Chocobo, about 9 days to the border from Efrester, since Efrester is way on the eastern side of Rubus itself.
Right. Well, perhaps Nico will have the ship in working order, and it will not be as long of a journey. But we'll have to go talk to him after this. Let's head to the library, and perhaps we can do some research. What exactly you want to do?
Oh, I have a little of this.
Just various things?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully Asher doesn't need our help for anything. And I guess I'll lead the way to the library.
So yeah, I mean, you go back down to the base floor and head into kind of the central area of this building, of the Canis building, and you reach the door, and once you reach the door, you open them up, and there are like a number of different changes that have taken place since your time in school, Milos. As you open the doors, you see that this area is probably about twice as large now. So they have probably expanded by knocking down like maybe some of the church study areas and expanding out into like these fresh new sections. There is a sweeping library here, as there are 2 stories to this library. A number of books you can see are actually flying around by themselves, not like flapping their wings or anything, but like sorting themselves almost. And you see a number of caretakers here in these facilities with the same red robes for Canis. They're kind of doing somatic things while they're kind of moving books around, perhaps with telekinesis or any different spells. But yeah, this particular library, main portion of it, is definitely old. The stone here has been set for quite some time, enough that there are a number of grooves worn into the stone in certain spots, where it actually, like, most people have been getting like basic materials. The staircase up to the second levels are on either left or right hand side in this older section, and they are a like wrought iron spiral staircase up to the second level that has this balcony that appears out. A number of seats up top as well for like reading areas. But also another thing catches your eye. There are a couple of like straight up like machina people walking around. The first that you guys have seen. There are probably about 6 of them in this library that you see. It's very strange, as you guys have never seen a Warforged before, as they would be considered machina and probably outlawed by the church.
They're sentient.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a number of people. There's a front desk too, with an older Loxodon female. She has this big, like, thick rim set of glasses kind of sat on the mid of her trunk, and she's turning pages like on one book in front of her with her trunk, but she is also on her left and right also reading 2 other books and flipping pages with her hands.
Would I know if there is a like reference section, like, so we can look it up ourselves, or is this the type of thing you just ask and they like bring you to exactly where you need to find it?
Usually books are checked out and brought to you at a sitting area, and then you can take them outside of the library, as they are usually one of a kind, not reprints or anything like that. So
Gotcha. So this is the book I need, go get it for me, and I will meet you upstairs in the city.
Yep.
Okay. I will relay that to Becky, be like, okay, give the nice person at the desk a very detailed description of what type of book you need. If you have the name, great. If not, like the genre, and she'll go find the book for you.
Milos,
Okay.
once you get a little bit closer to the desk, you actually recognize this woman. She has been the same librarian since you were a small cub. Her name is Dira, and she is kind of this paler, kind of not quite albino, but definitely more on the white side, Loxodon. And she has these great, like, brass hoop earrings in her ears that she, like, flicks every once in a while, and they sound kind of like little chimes when she does so. And she is just the sweetest old lady that probably has been at the library maybe even another 60 years before you were born. So she's been doing this for quite a while.
And I will add, Dira is amazing. She knows this place like the back of her hand, back of her trunk. Either way. She's great. Just be nice.
Of course. I'm always nice. I go up and I say, hi, love the earring. Hi, I'm Becky.
Oh, hello, Becky. How are you?
Oh, good. Say, this is my friend Milos. He's showing me around. Told me that this is a great place to find a book.
She immediately recognizes Milos, and she stands up from what she's doing, and she, like, reaches across the table and, like, grabs his cheeks and gives them a good, like pull, and she goes, you know, this little whippersnapper snuck out in the middle of the night and would go into sections he shouldn't be reading. Not terrible materials, but way beyond his level, but that's okay.
Nerd! No, she would say, oh, really? He was naughty?
If reading books is naughty.
Oh. Have a little more respect. So, yeah, we found ourselves in town and just wanted to look up a couple of things. First off, I was looking for a book on beasts. Anything really, like, big and powerful, you know, whether living or extinct, no preference, you know, just specifically something with diagrams or pictures in it would be preferable. Yes.
Do you have like a list of these things written? She could probably go find a bunch of them.
Oh, I happen to have a list. And I'll whip out a sheet of ideas I've had. Also, I'm kind of looking for a book on different styles of armor through the ages. Also, if you have any books on simple ritual spells that I could look up. And then finally, I've been hearing a lot about the 12. And there was one in particular I wanted to look up. I think their name is Nuldthal. I just wondered if you had anything on that one.
We have quite a bit of new information from our regent. Luckily, he has procured quite a bit of information on the 12 here. It's a very interesting religion. I'm still a member of the Faith Church, but it's interesting to know more about our history. As far as magics go, unfortunately, my dear, we cannot loan those out except for to students, so I do apologize for that. And as far as armors go, we definitely have a number in our new Marquies situation over there, as she points kind of off to the left-hand side. And she says, as far as beasts go, you should find, or we would have some picture books, perhaps, from the children's section that I could find for you.
Yeah, anything you can look up would be great.
Very good. And she has the entire time you notice as she only has one eye on you, her left eye has been reading this book the entire time. Like, it is moving by itself, and she has been reading and holding a conversation with you at the same time. So it's odd just to see her left eye like moving as her right eye is trained on you. But she reaches down with her right hand, still flipping pages with her left, and she fills out some information on like this card that looks like a bookmark, and it has a number on top listed as number 39. And she says, "Just put this on the end of your table, dear, and we will send the books to you as soon as possible."
Thank you.
You're
I'll
very
take-
welcome.
Card and find a table, I suppose.
All right. So you guys go and Marquies, was there any information you wanted in the library, or?
Hold on. So, well, to start, I just wanted to see if they had any alchemical sections that could be used to maybe get an idea on new recipes and stuff. I'm just trying to find some way to, in lore, bring in all these changes.
Fair enough. Hey everybody, this is us eroding the new alchemist class. But yes, she has a number of new theories section that she can bring you. So she says, we'll put it down on the same card that your friend took, so we'll be to your table shortly.
Okay.
So you all take a seat, and within, I would say about 10 minutes or so, one of the War Machine or the Warforge actually like walk over to you with a pile of books. They are rather kind of tall and lanky, and it seems like they were modeled after like mannequins a little bit, so they have kind of a smoothish exterior, and it's very interesting as they have like these Near Eastern style robes on, so like almost kimono style stylization, travel robes, and they set down the books on your table and like take your card and say, "Will there be anything else?"
I don't think so, but you're so elegant. You model.
And you see it kind of computing for a second, and it's like, I have... It says, yes, how did you know I have modeled for a number of the art classes?
I don't know. I guess it's just instinct. You know, beautiful folk like us.
Yes, quite. And it like bows, kind of a deep like hip bow at you, and returns to its duties as it dropped off a stack of books for you guys to peruse. So, which ones are you starting with?
I will flip through the children's animal books, I guess, and see if there's any beasts in there that have a decent picture with a lot of teeth that might make a good polymorph for myself.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me. Let's just do an investigation.
Investigation?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, everything's loading. Investigation would be 9.
9. A lot of these pictures are like children, pictures for children, like a little cartoonish. So you get the perception that perhaps a lot of the pictures in these tomes that were dropped off for you aren't going to be something that may be beneficial for a polymorph, except for when you do get to the end of one of the books. You do find like oddly enough, for this particular book, like a diagram, like scientific style drawing of an alligator. So, and a pretty detailed description on what exactly is an alligator, which is very strange for you having grown up on the Salt Coast, not really seeing these creatures before.
Okay. And then I guess, yeah, I would just probably dive into probably books on the 12, flipping through, looking specifically for things on Nullthal, and trying to understand the interaction I had so many weeks ago with them.
Certainly. So, you do flip across a number of the 12 in this book, but are you just kind of trying to single down right now for Nullthal?
Probably him, because like supposedly that is who attacked me, and like I just want to know why they attacked me and like what their purposes are.
Sure. So, it's just jumping to Nullthal's section. Nullthal is sometimes one being, but is actually made up of two beings, two twins, in fact. Nald and Thal. So they are mostly known as, most people don't speak of the 12 by their actual full name, but they are known collectively as the Traitors, as most of the time they have duality of being the overseers of both the afterlife as well as commerce. They are also astrally aspected to the fire element.
Traders with a T?
Traders. Like tradesmen. Traders.
Okay.
They're like symboled that anybody who worships them would carry is actually an old gold coin that used to be traded many years ago called a gill, with either side projecting one face, either Nald or Thal's. So they, like I said, oversee not only commerce. So a lot of people who are tradesmen or merchants would worship Nullthal if they were worshipping the 12. But also, a lot of people pray to Nullthal for anything to deal with the afterlife. They are not the god of death. They are ushers of the dead. Basically, they're the thing that is described as keeping track of a person's worthiness to enter into the astral heavens. Those who they judge, they weigh on a scale. Their good deeds versus not so good deeds. And they weigh them with gill coins. If they are found as kind of mediocre or median in life, they are returned to the life stream where they nourish the earth and are reborn for another chance at trying to reach a better ending or a better life. If they are judged to have done so, then their farriers take them to the astral heavens, to the halls of whichever 12 that they worshipped. The person has been judged as a terrible person or just overall evil. They are plucked from the life stream and sent to one of the 9 hells, depending on which crimes they committed in life. Of the duties of Nullthal, their main duties were not only to judge souls and to bring some luck to tradesmen, but also to make sure that the life stream continues to work and continues to nourish the earth. So things like Ashkin or undead, things that disrupt the natural flow of the green word are usually hunted down by clergy members of Nald'thal, or in the worst cases, Nald'thal's avatar themselves. So yeah, that is kind of the main bit of information here.
So what other books did you have? You had the Book of Beasts.
The Book of
You had the Book of the 12. What was it?
Beast, Nald'thal, and then
She didn't give you the Book of Rituals.
right, armor. That's what I was
Armor,
looking
that's what
for. I want to flip through the armor and see if I can find anything like draconic styled armor and try and understand if I can find out where Milos' attackers came from.
Okay. So, I mean, go ahead and make me an investigation. One more investigation check here as you're looking through this portion.
Can I give her advantage?
Yeah,
Since I mean, I'm just sitting there. I'm not really helping either of them, but I
Absolutely.
could be. Good.
What, investigation?
Yep.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you do find a section on draconic style armors, mostly detailing like how they're made, what materials are needed. A lot of it is actual dragon parts, like dragon scales, dragon skin. You're not finding anything like close to the stylization of what you saw on Milos' attackers until you get to the end of the section. Like, you're about to give up hope, but you get right to the end, and you see a familiar looking stylization of a helmet. The one particularly that Bergen was wearing. And as you guys look, you see that there's not much information on how this particular armor set was made, and attempts to recreate it have failed. But the information that you do get from this particular armor is that this stylization of armor was found in a dig of a High Allegan ruin. And that the only thing that they found with the armor was a title placard that said Judge Bergen.
So there was a placard that said
Judge Bergen.
Judge Bergen.
Yeah. So the dude that we knew his name, it was just the book is basically just telling us this. He was Allegan.
The date on this particular piece is actually from about 500 years ago.
So they found this helmet 500 years ago? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Huh.
Well, we know that I don't remember who it was. One of Joker's friends could raise the dead, right?
Right.
So for all we know, one of them rose the dead, and brought back the judge, and maybe lost control of him, or maybe specifically was sent to inject me with some bullshit. But
Yeah, I mean, either they can raise the dead, they just took the name and they're some sort of copycat, or they're 500 years old.
maybe they found an elixir of youth. I look over at Marquies. Is that a thing?
Maybe? Flips through.
I figured you were looking at books about. I didn't know if it was you found something in there about like a youth potion. Do we have to, like?
I'm sure there's something. I don't know that it would last that long, but to be.
I mean, I'm sure if you.
Seems like a long time, 500 years.
I mean,
When was the last calamity?
The last calamity was 800 years ago.
it was 800 years ago, Becky.
Oh my god, you read that in this book here.
Yeah, I literally just said.
Someone left this out on the middle of the table. You just read that.
I could have just known that. You don't know. Anyway, so
Yeah.
it was 500 years ago they found this helmet. So maybe someone took the helmet and, like you said, it's just pretending to be him. Or they really were resurrected. Who knows?
Or maybe it's an Ursk and like the armor is possessing.
Oh, it could be cursed. That's a possibility too. I mean, do we want to try and find out more about this Judge Bergen? Maybe there's some Allegheny history books.
Oh, I want to dig through my packs, and I have those volumes of books about Ancient Baron. I want to flip through and see if I can find anything about Bergen.
Yeah, I won't require a check from this because there's no mention of anything Allegan in the books.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can go ask Dira if there's any types of books like that. I mean, I can always ask tomorrow when I'm under the knife.
I mean, yeah, I have, time to look stuff up while you're, being dissected. So.
Don't remind me.
All right, we'll cut back to Ellie. As you dodge out of this closet trying to find the other two members of your posse, you see as Poppy is like trying to put her nose to the ground, but she's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
We'll find them. We'll find them. And then she starts going forward.
Okay. It doesn't take you long because you are going down the hallway for about 5 minutes before you start hearing like Asher's voice as Asher and Din, the two of you were taken into this office that looks like a mad scientist's place. There's a number of like different magical implements and like glasses and like magnifying glasses and charged crystals, and there's like electricity between a couple of like large conductors, and looking to see like behind some glass cases a number of really gnarly looking items that have been locked behind some enchantments. And a couple of them even rattle when you come in with the scythe. Like they start rattling in the cases. Like a couple of the other like items, there's like a helmet, there's a couple of other things in there that just start rattling against the glass as soon as you come in with a scythe. And as she's pulling you in, she starts kind of looking around, and she's like, "Oh, they must not really like the guy you're attached to." So
I don't either.
Well, let's see what it's all about. And she like pats down on top of this like big metal slab that seems to appear from the floor as it like raises up, and she's like, "Go ahead, hop up on here," and she like yanks you up. She doesn't give you the option of jumping on it, she just kind of yanks you over the table. And she like starts playing with the scythe, and she cannot move it from any portion on your body, but she is like, "Okay, why don't you go ahead and put it on your back, lay down face flat."
Okay. I heard someone say that before.
But yeah, she like takes a closer look and starts to like move a number of different spheres and her glove around it, and she goes, "Ooh, this is a pretty nasty piece of voidware you have here."
Voidware.
Yeah. I mean, this particular person, thing, whatever, entity we'll call him, has attached itself to your soul, so that's probably not good. But, as Void Scent do, well, I mean, we could certainly try to free you of it, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you, this thing could kill you. Like,
I've died before.
and she kind of looks at you and was like, "Okay." What?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember when, but I died a couple weeks ago, I think.
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She says, "Well, I mean, This thing, once a void scent gets attached to somebody, it's real hard to, get him out of there.
Okay.
Usually you have to appease it some way.
How do you appease them?
Well, you usually give it whatever it asks for, as long as you know where to draw the limits.
It wants blood and souls.
Well, I mean, that's pretty typical for a void scent. But, like I said, it's up to you, but until you appease it, I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Is there a way you could take it, like, back to the void?
I don't think it wants to go back to the void. Most void scent want to be here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you somehow got him unattached from it, so you could probably, if you are capable of summoning a void portal, toss it back in, but I'd say that it would probably fight you tooth and nail the entire time, so there's that.
We still have that artifact with the dog that can travel.
They can do what?
We can travel through the
Oh.
void and back. One person.
Oh. Always drop it off.
Yeah. We
Gotta
can
get-
drop it off. We still get it.
Gotta unattach it first.
So she says, sorry, I mean, like I said, I could definitely try to, but there's a good chance that you might damage your soul in the take, so...
Well, seen that happen to people.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Ellie, you're now in the room as well, hearing this end of this conversation, so...
I wouldn't recommend fracturing your soul.
You did it for Becky.
Yeah. I don't know what the consequences of that are. And I would like to be the only one in our party to have to find that out.
I don't think we can get much stuff done if this
Well,
is
what does it need?
souls.
Dan, as you were watching these two talk, you see as Kriska has begun to look over Ellie, and she's got like a pair of like goggles and is like looking around at her, and she starts kind of pushing her towards Asher a little bit.
Excuse me?
Just an experiment.
Okay.
Did you know that you have an attachment as well? Where have you all been?
Oh, okay. So, my friend Becky had this book that is like hella dark, and I picked it up to try and see if I could figure out how to bring her back from the dead because she died and her soul got trapped in the void. And then when I opened the book, something
Was
dark.
it a black book, black binding
Yeah.
with black pages,
Yeah.
kind of etched in writing?
Yeah, and I opened
And she
it.
points towards one of the cases, and there's a very similar book
Don't
in the
tell
cases.
Becky that's here. Don't tell Becky that's here. Yeah, something like that. I opened it, and then something went into my body, and I think it's still there. And then we went to the void. Things happened. Bad things. Some good. I got Becky back.
Well,
Are you looking at my soul?
sort of.
How much of it's left?
There's a dent in it.
Okay.
But this little attachment, like I said, he's kind of a little guy compared to, and she points towards the scythe, and she says, I've got an experiment if you both don't mind. Usually Void Scent are not too fond of each other.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Okay.
Anything for Asher.
Why don't you grab onto that?
The scythe?
Yeah.
You're gonna...
No, it's already attached to him, don't worry. It won't be stuck to you two, although that would be hilarious.
I just reach out with both hands and I grab the
Freaky
handle.
Friday.
Yeah.
As
and Troy.
Asher is laid out on this table, and you reach out and grab the scythe that's attached to his body. The rest of you see Ellie, you're kind of thrown back a little bit as this that black wisp that entered you when the book had been opened and you had read it. When it had attached itself to you, you guys see as this wisp is drawn out, there's this power vacuum from the scythe, and it just... And Asher, you see the scythe begin to glow right up by your head, and pretty good. You got that one strength back.
That's what it needed.
Did you just eat it? Did we just feed it a soul? Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, actually.
Well, we don't have any more of those.
I mean, a lot of different things do. I mean, ethically speaking.
Now that it's got what it wants, can we...
Detach it?
Yeah. Is this like now or never?
Oh no, that was just a little morsel.
Oh, that was just an appetizer?
Yeah.
What does it need?
I'm assuming more?
Souls?
Or blood? Whatever it said it wanted.
What does it want?
Both?
I slap my hand on the blade.
Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
You ribbon. Ribbon pages reminded me.
You're gonna like Yeah, might steal her soul. Might have to go to the void again.
21.
Oh.
Asher, I need you to roll me a spell attack.
A spell attack?
Mm-hmm.
23.
You guys see as Ellie's hands become fused to the site and it starts like drawing this essence off of her. Ellie, you are now -1 intelligent point.
It'd be -2 for doing that.
I don't know how to make that happen.
As
I didn't mean to roll. Please ignore.
You feel this inner essence of yourself start to drain away, and the rest of you look down at Poppy and see Poppy like start to fade away.
Oh, fuck! I need that.
And you see
Oh, no, you
as
need to do
Kriska like takes this pole from her hip and like extend it out and push you away from it. And she's like, "That's not smart. I mean, please don't die in my office. You can die elsewhere."
You didn't tell me. My hands.
I'd be more worried about your soul.
I don't.
That thing just ate quite a big chunk of it.
Did it grow back?
That's not how souls
I
work.
didn't think so. Listen, I've been giving up pieces of my soul to summon things for a while, so it's already missing a little bit.
Asher, until you take a long rest, you have a plus 2d6 necrotic to all of your damage.
Does that intelligence come back?
Man, I hope Ellie and the rest of them are all fine. I mean, they're with an academic. They're probably okay, right?
I would assume so. They're not going to do anything stupid.
Right. A teacher won't let them get hurt.
Oh, I didn't do that. Okay, so you touch it next.
Listen, Milos said, don't touch it. Did I forget to tell you?
What the fuck?
Shouldn't even the title. I forgot to tell you. Oh, but
I'm the one with the least amount of soul to give. And I've given it for him and Becky. You guys owe me half a soul.
Okay. So at this point, Kriska's like, "Listen, this is all interesting, but if you continue to touch that thing, you are going to die." And so,
That's fucking great.
while that's very, very interesting to me, I don't need the paperwork to have to fill out somebody dying in my office.
I respect that.
Okay, so what do we do about that? Because that seems like it's going to be a
I
problem.
feel great.
Well, I mean, there's
It's because you ate my soul.
Why didn't you fed it my soul? Your soul.
there's
I'm
this-
not going to be able to go to the far plane when I die. I'm going to haunt you.
Marquies.
Perfect. We'll both haunt you.
And she says, "Well, I mean, from my standpoint, there's probably 3 different paths you could take to deal with this thing. Either you embrace it and feed it, do what you need to do with it, or find a more holy path. Like I said, that's not my area of expertise. Or perhaps there's some way you could dispel it using more ancient knowledge than what we have here. So that's the best thing that I can tell you that I got, unfortunately."
Poppy, are you okay?
Poppy's like shaking a little bit and is like hissing at the sight.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
You should take a trip to the void and go slaughter some stuff.
Right.
Apparently
Can
it's
I
Blaize's.
put the blade away now?
What's that?
Can I get rid of it, or is it still stuck to me?
Oh no, it's still stuck to you.
Okay. I thought maybe if it fed, I could.
How often does that thing need to be fed?
I don't. Didn't come with rules.
It said blood or souls, not both. I want my soul back.
Do you like supporting artists? Do you like nerdy things like Dungeons and Dragons? Then Co-op Creations SD is the store for you. You can find adorable dragons, menacing mind flayers, and jealous jelly cubes to accompany you on your adventures. Need a way to safely transport your math rocks? Then their homemade dice bags will keep your click-clacks warm. Stop on by their Etsy page soon, as stock is limited.
Are you wondering what your favorite wacky nerds are up to? Search for Campaigns of the Plains on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and make sure to follow and like us to keep up with all our content and news. You might also find exclusive content for fans only. Remember to catch us on YouTube every Friday at noon for a new episode of Campaigns of the Plains.
So yeah, it's about this time, Milos, that you see this tiny little turtle male kind of shuffle up to you, and he says, "You're Milos, yes?"
Oh, well, yes. And you are?
I am the Regent's aide. He's summoning you all to supper. It's nearly time for dinner, so he wanted to make sure that you were aware.
Oh, yes. Please let Uncle Zesty know we'll be there very soon.
Certainly. And he, starts to do his little turtle waddle back out the direction that he came.
And I'll talk into my ear and be like, "Hey, Din, can you relay the message that it's supper time and we should meet up at the palace?"
Yeah, I won't forget this time.
You forget last time?
The last message, I forgot. That's all.
I mean, Asher can hear this too. I don't know why he didn't say something, but okay.
About what?
Not touching the site.
Oh, I don't remember him saying that. I forgot.
Yeah. But yeah, this is broadcast to the entire group. This isn't just me talking to Din.
Minus Ellie, of course.
Except for Allie. Right.
Ellie's still shrieking in the background.
But anyway, do you want to meet in the courtyard and we can head out from there? I'm assuming you guys are almost done.
I think we're done.
I feel great.
That's good to hear, Asher. Hopefully you removed the curse.
No, but I feel good.
I don't.
I can't hear that, so.
I can hear Asher's in.
But yeah, so you guys head out, and from the campus you just take, there's a pretty big set of stairs to the north from the campus directly that leads straight to the Amber Palace.
So on a scale of 1 to missing half my soul, how much shit do I look like?
You look pretty rough. Probably wouldn't sacrifice anymore.
Yeah, well.
Anyway.
Things I do for my friends, right?
You guys are all greeted at the palace. Not that many guards around. A little more than there had been on the Sparks campus. But a couple of them greet you and say, "You must be Prince Milos." Right inside, they are having dinner in the interior hall.
Oh yeah, I remember. I used to play in that room. I know exactly where it is.
They send you on inside. Yes, the interior hall is actually one of the smaller dining rooms, mostly made for more of an intimate setting rather than a large banquet or anything like that. So you guys get there, and Zezariku greets you all and introduces you to the rest of his polycule. So he introduces you to an aura that has kind of this emerald scaling named Jasper. And then also introduces you to this Guado female named Layla. and one other of a polycule. She's kind of this tall, humanoid-looking female, stark white hair. She has kind of this, what you've seen before with Joker, the Imperial Eye, Third Eye, as they call it. So she must be from the Empire, or was at some point in time. And her name is Sharice.
Say that again?
Sharice.
Sharice?
Mm-hmm. So, he introduces you all, and then you guys get a number of appetizers started, clams in the half shell, a number of Far Eastern dishes as well, since you're so close to the coast. Some half sea urchins and other number of like fish dishes, as well as some herbal tea. And he says, "Well, I hope you found the city to your liking so far, and I heard what you've done for my dear beloved, so I thank you all for that, and there should be anything else you need in your time here, just let me know, and I'd be glad to do what I can, within reason, of course."
Does anyone speak up?
Becky would say, so we were at the library earlier, and I was looking for some ritual spells, and they said that I had to be a student to get access to those. I was wondering if, maybe knew someone that could maybe just loan me a book or something about.
I apologize. Unfortunately, the school is its own governing body, so I can donate things to them and ask them, but there may be some time before they would acquiesce to me.
Okay.
You might just have to go buy some books.
Okay.
We're talking to Zesty, right?
Do you know anyone that can, remove a curse?
I mean, all those that I would know would be at the university.
But that curse is too intense for them, so we need somebody even more good at removing curses.
Well,
Or
unfortunately,
a priest.
and he touches the symbol, that he has kind of pinned to his little half cape that he has around his shoulders, and he says, "I put a lot of faith in the 12, but I mean, there's only so much that the clergy can do. If you need a miracle, perhaps you best speak to the 12 yourselves."
I don't know. Is that an option? How do I do that?
Imagine praying.
Okay, who wants to do that?
I don't think one just simply suddenly prays and then gets a miracle.
Okay. Have you tried?
Number of times, and he looks down, and the rest of the polycule look down as well as they. He says, "I prayed for a number of miracles. Apparently, it took a while, but eventually they were answered since you were able to do something about it."
Right.
Have you gone to visit the temple?
We're just there.
No.
Not since she'd been crystallized. No, but now that she is beginning to heal, I think we shall make a journey, probably on the morrow.
Maybe the Grand Maester would be able to help us.
Grand Maester?
I mean, he's like the head of the church, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's clear. I would get you.
Why would we lie and say that he's deceased?
Because public knowledge is that he is.
I don't think that Vizier Raj is dead.
Well, shit, he knows. Okay.
See? He knows that the Grand Maester's not dead. What about the one before him?
Oh, he most certainly, from the last of our reports, is dead.
I look around at everybody to get recognition that I want to tell him. Just gauge the room.
I'm looking at you intently. Do you trust this guy?
Of course I trust my Uncle Zesty. Does anyone, other than the one disapproval from Ellie, does anyone else give me anything?
I have something to tell you guys.
Becky's eating cheese, and she's like, "Oh my god, I haven't had cheese."
And actually, in relation to all of this, so if you trust Zesty, then I guess I trust Zesty. So you start and I'll finish.
Well, the previous Grand Maester, was not murdered and is still very much alive.
He's in hiding.
You see as Zazariku, leans a little bit on one elbow and, kind of strokes the tiny little bit of soul patch that he has, and he says, "Really?"
We're wanted for his murder, but we didn't kill him. We're working with him.
Huh.
That leads me to my second point. I got a message from him like 20 minutes ago.
Before Ellie starts, I want to insight check him to see if he knew that, or if this is surprising in a good or a bad way.
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight.
Not great, but we'll see.
Give it a roll.
That's a 16.
16. He seems more like this is new information, but this could be very good information for him.
Okay, so that's not. It's new information, as in he didn't know, but I have no reason not to trust him. So I go ahead.
Okay, so I got a message from the Grand Maester, the old Grand Maester that we like, that isn't an evil red-headed asshole. The capital is in a lot of danger, and the dead can't make it to the far plane, so there's just a bunch of fiends all over the city and fireflies. He needs our help to stop that from happening. So we're gonna need to go back to the capital at some point. But he advised that we go to Saffris to gear up, and he's gonna send word to the temple that we're going, and that they need to give us stuff, and also so that I can get Leviathan. So we need to go to Saffris, and then we need to go to the capital where we're wanted criminals and we'll be killed on sight. So that's great for us. It's great for us.
We'll get it.
Well, perhaps, but given all of this news, I would say that perhaps all the capital's forces are focused on capital problems. So this could be a good time to start planning a counterattack against Vizira.
Yes.
Do any of you know who is in charge in Emerald?
It's some redheaded guy. I don't remember what his name is. He used to be the leader of the guard. And he told himself that he was the new leader of the whole town. I don't remember what the hell his name is. I was told it last game and I didn't write it down.
No, the leader of Emerald. Your home. Yes, that's what he's speaking of.
Isn't that Bergen?
Bergen's dead, so that's not...
Oh, Bergen's dead. Never mind.
Do I know who the leader is?
Kind of de facto.
There's not really...
It was Ilar.
Yeah, there's not really an actual
Ilar.
commune. Ilar's been taking charge of things.
Is there any way that you could get a message to this person for me?
None of us have that capability.
Ability to send messages at a distance.
Damn. Well...
I did see that they had all those little birds in the campus. Maybe if we could get one of those, we could send them a message.
Unfortunately, the sparrows have a very short distance and a very low battery life, so travel...
It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
Travel outside of the city is...
Wait, did he give
awful.
us some way to contact him? I can't remember now.
He did not.
Okay.
What do they use for battery?
Hmm?
What do they use for battery?
Mostly charged crystals.
Does anybody at the school you trust enough to send him a message? I could give them a very detailed description of him.
I would like to involve as little people as possible because while your information may, no offense, be solid, I would like to involve as little people as I can if I am to do what I like, because if spies or a mage would interrupt this trading of information, we could be found out, and fortunately a counterattack could fail.
I have an idea. So, if we can get an object to some way, I could cast Magic Mouth on it, and so it would only speak the message when it's in proximity of him. So that's a way we could, keep it secret.
But how are we going to get it to him?
I don't know.
We have to find him first. I mean, I can scry on him and see if I can find where he is.
Yeah. I'm throwing out ideas. I'm an idea person.
Well, I like where all this is going. Perhaps we touch base on it later. Let's...
Wait.
continue.
When we were there, somebody sent us a message through their summon. Can you take messages, Poppy?
Poppy's like,
I don't know how Poppy would get to him in a short amount of time. But somebody did send me a message through their summon, so I don't know how to do that.
it was Master Gregorius, and he's probably a higher level summoner than you.
Well...
But I like this thought, but let's not dwell on it. Let's continue to feast.
There's something else that you should know.
Yes?
And since you want to attack the capital and stuff, there's like a really big machina underneath it. Really, really big. Marquies knows more.
Yeah, I think it was something...
I mean, Becky's supposed to be the battery for it.
What?
To destroy the...
It's...
Listen, we had a really long time in the void where we saw an alternate universe of all of this nonsense, and it was a lot.
Perhaps this isn't something, no offense, I thank you for your confidence, but perhaps not something you should speak of so openly, as you never know who is listening.
Becky just 1,000-yard stares.
While I like to think that the Ember Palace is unapproachable by outside ears, I cannot guarantee it, so best to keep that information to yourself.
Okay. What's the fastest way for us to get to that one place?
That one place.
Yeah, the
Saffras?
Saffras.
What? We have means of transportation. Just don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, let's continue to eat, and perhaps touch on this later. And more courses are brought out, some sushi-style dishes, rice, onigiri, things like that. A lot of Near Eastern-style dishes, which Zazaruku seems to really indulge upon, and sake is passed out to everyone who will imbibe.
What is this?
It's rice wine. It smells very alcohol-y. There's also plum wine as well, if you would care for instead. Otherwise, there's tea.
No, we drank too much that one time, and I don't want it anymore. Okay, you can have both of mine.
Alright. So, it's getting late in the evening, and Zazaruku bids you all farewell, and that he will be in touch should you need anything else. And he speaks with you, Milos, and he's like, just let me know before you leave the city, that way I can say my farewells.
Of course, Uncle Zesty. I wouldn't dream of it.
He bids you all a good night, and you all make your way back to your hotel. On the way back, something is following you guys through the streets as you move, and you hear like the sound of like claws on the cobblestone, but not like claws like hound claws, like those style of claws, not like cat claws.
Are we supposed to go to that one Albed's spot before we went to bed?
I mean, we can go talk to Jarek, and perhaps Nico would be there as well.
What's following us?
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay. I got a 7.
Whatever is tailing you, you're not quite sure what.
Does my passive perception of 19 catch anything?
Definitely does catch something moving
What?
kind
I've
of
got
the
a
corner.
21.
What?
I've got a perception of 21.
But you're actively like looking back for it.
okay.
You're not just like catching something out of the corner of your eyes. So
I'm assuming the perception is why I saw it. So,
yeah.
I'll try to figure out what's going on. That's a 13.
13. It's good enough. As this thing is catching, keeping to the shadows, but it's not like super trying to hide itself. You guys look back, and there is this like bigger, like kind of gray wolf that seems to be following you, and is actually like locking eyes on Din.
Dog. I'm gonna go for the dog.
So the dog kind of steps out into the light when it sees you and starts like running up to you. Not like aggressive run, but like a dog that's not seen you in a while dog.
I know this dog.
You know this dog. This dog... 1 second.
Yo, dog.
Yo, dog. I heard you like dogs. We put a dog in your dog. Give me 1 second. So this dog is an older dire wolf companion to Avinar. And he immediately goes up to Din and like starts like licking your face and like doing the dog whisper, like whimper, like it hasn't seen you in a while. And it like is like moving around you. And
I imagine this dog is way bigger than me.
What's that?
This dog's probably bigger than me.
Yes. Yep. This dog is definitely something that you used to ride around on as a kid, and has maybe even grown bigger since then. But you think for a second, you're like, why?
Why is dog here?
Why is dog here? And you know this beastie, as Abner calls him, just calls him Fang. And you look now and you see that he has this neckerchief tied around his neck with something inside of it, packed away like underneath his chin, underneath the neckerchief. And he like nuzzles it towards you so that you can take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
So inside there is a sphere, something that you guys have seen before, those cerulean spheres with the metal ring around the outside that contained a recording or some such similar magic. Are you touching the runes on the outside?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're just doing this in the middle of the street.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
So you touch this, and the sphere itself projects out onto the street in front of you, and you can see a couple of people with their back turned towards you. They're agree a male and agree a female. The agree a female has this long lavender hair that's been kind of like pulled into a pony, but it has like bones and fangs and other leather bands throughout her hair. Brass wings, tails and horns, and also the male next to her is slightly taller than her, but not by much. This male has kind of short blonde hair, but like is missing like a couple of grooves right here where he may have been clawed on the side of the face. Blue eyes, brass wings, tails and horn, of course. And sitting next to these people, curled up next to the female is this large snowy owlbear. And next to the other one is a little red wormling. And the woman goes, wait, it's making noise. And she like hits the guy a couple times, like slugs him. And he turns around. They must have been doing something, but they turn around. And you see the faces of your parents, Din. And they immediately like come up, like a couple of parents that may be doing Zoom for the first time as they like get real close to the sphere that's they're broadcasting to. And the firm voice of your father comes over and says, Din, can you hear us? Din! And like pokes it a couple times. And like the woman like slaps him upside the head and is like, dummy, she can hear us. Obviously, Avnar gave us the sphere to get a hold of her, so she knows what to do. She's smart.
That's my mom and my dad.
Hi! And they look around and they're like, oh, hi other people too.
Wait, is this live?
Yeah?
Holy shit! We will never see recordings.
That's live? What the fuck?
It's live.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Jen's mom and dad.
Hi. And you see now as the owlbear and the wormling, hearing your voice, Din, like come up to the sphere as well and are like licking it, and like the owlbear is doing the little clacky noise that the owls kind of do with their beaks a little bit at the sphere too. So they're definitely recognizing you, and you see as Dirk like sneaks out of your collar and is like flicking his tongue at the sphere too. So. And they say, "Oh, we wanted to touch in with you. We haven't heard from you in months. Once you passed the second set of mists, we haven't received any letters. But then Avniar says that he got something terrible, and then your mother like slaps your dad on the back again and is like, 'Go get him!' And like you hear him be like, 'Oh, right, duh!' And he like runs off and disappears for a little bit, and your mother just now looks at you and says, "So, how have you been?"
I made a lot of friends, and then I gained some friends. Yeah, I have 2 sets of friends.
Did you wrestle anything else?
I have a bear. And
You
I
have a
wrestled
bear?
Yes!
And she looks over at the owl bear who's like making like shrill noises, and she's like, "Don't worry, Hoots. She still loves you too."
He's not as big as you, but he might be.
And Hoots like gets mad and starts like doing the head side thing and like making just angry bird noises at the sphere.
You should go visit your parents.
Yeah. it'd be
Wait,
fun.
through the mists? Mists? Oh,
Yeah, there's a couple walls.
we'll be in a cage. Or in your little dome thing.
So she's just kind of asking you a whole bunch of questions. What else what else have you done? Who else have you seen? She's trying to catch up as much as possible. And then your father returns, and you've only seen this a couple times, but you know that Avniar likes to, when he is showing new Beastmasters or teaching new Beastmasters how to form bonds, he will actually change himself into a full Gria form.
And so he's not gonna fit around here. What the
No. He has shifted down into a full Gria form. So you guys see this like very bronze-looking, very regal-looking Gria male with these pretty big wings and horns step into view of the sphere, and he smiles this kind of fangy smile and says, "Little Din, well, I am glad that you have found so many friends," as he gestures to everyone, and he says, "But on a more serious note, I did receive your message from your hunter friend, and there are some things that you need to know about being a Beastmaster. You know how to form bonds with your beasts, but it is true that your totems can be destroyed. They are all destroyed. It cuts you off from them as they are stuck on the Wildheart plane, the one that you access to keep your beasts in the meanwhile. If you are completely cut off from the Wildheart plane, then the feral energy from that plane will reverberate that connection and drive you mad, drive you feral. So, be careful. Send me a message when you can."
Is that what happened to the other girl?
Poor Ishay, yes. We've sent some of our hunters to your location to bring her back, but they won't be able to reach her for another month or so. Fortunately, there's nothing you can do once you've been driven feral, so keep your beasts safe.
Okay. I've already lost a couple, and it was really hard.
Death is a thing that happens, but that is a natural thing and won't cut you off from the beast in the Wildheart plane. But if your totems are all destroyed, it's something that you have to be careful of.
Okay.
Maybe you should keep
I like them. I mean, I'm gonna be a lich.
And he says, "We'll be in touch." but be careful for now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of bows at you and thanks everyone for helping Din find a little bit of calm. And he bows to you all and then kind of makes his way off screen, and your dad appears back on screen, like, up close, and he, like, is, like, eyeball close, and he is, like, bringing the little red wormling face up to the sphere, and he says, make sure to come back soon. Soot misses you, and this, like, little wormling just spits out a little cone of fire.
Yeah, I'll come back when I can.
All right, bye!
Bye, Dad.
And the little stream ends here in the street.
Multiple times.
They seem nice.
It's my sphere now.
And Fang, like, barks at you a couple times, and then he just, like, takes off.
Oh, bye, Fang.
So, you guys are
That's
heading over to
nice.
Jerk's?
Great.
Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you guys. The void thing that was inside of my soul is gone now because Asher's scythe ate it. Then it ate part of my actual soul.
More?
Yeah, just a little, a lot. I believe the words that the professor used was significant.
Okay.
So don't touch it. I don't know if anyone's figured that out. Don't touch it.
This news is disturbing, but also surprisingly normal.
Right. So, and obviously she didn't know how to get rid of the curse.
Well, maybe the Grand Maester will know, or someone else of the faith. We'll just have to keep looking. Did the professor say anything else about how to get rid of it?
She said to appease it,
Yeah, I feel great. As long as
or
it eats something,
to,
I feel great.
or she could try to remove it, but it might kill Asher. Or to find
Okay.
some ancient magic that might work, or religion, if all
I mean,
fails. Seek religion,
we-
I guess.
We deal with ancient magic all the time, right? Like, I mean, look at half of me. I'm made of ancient magic, yes.
Sure.
So, maybe
find some
we'll find more
People, some...
knowledge.
Oh boy, we're all just fucked up.
As you guys are walking, have this conversation, you head over to the kind of border between the Ember Market and where the guild was, to kind of where Jarek's shop had been set up. And you start speaking. Jarek is speaking really fast at you, and he's like, oh man, I hired a bunch of people, so we're like cruising on this project. So I'm actually a little scared because, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have the best track record of getting things done. They usually fail like right at the end, but I've got a really good feeling about this. So
I have faith in you.
but he's like, so the prototype's almost done. I'm thinking like late tomorrow we should be able to show you guys kind of what we have in store. I mean, we don't have the stadium built or anything like that, but at least we can show you what it does. But I had another surprise for you guys, and he like calls out to somebody in the back, and you guys see as this gentleman in his probably late 40s, early 50s, kind of a regal-looking beard with a couple of like metal parts that have been like braided in. He has a pair of like goggles on top of his head, and he's got this kind of long flowing ponytail that he's got like cinched down at the end of it. He's got like this big belt on his side, and he steps out, and Jarek says, allow me to introduce the headmister, or the headmister, whatever you're called, of the Machina place up there in Sparks. Say hi, Sid. And Sid's like, hey everyone, how's it going?
Did we already meet Sid? No. Okay.
He says, so I've got weird news and I've got good news. Which one do you want first?
First, how do we get a metal bird?
What?
Well, we don't need it. It's only for short distances. It wouldn't work for our purposes.
I know. I just want one. We don't need it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just want one. We just want a metal.
Okay.
I tried to catch one. That
We should get
didn't go well.
two.
We get 2 metal birds. How do we
Like
get 2 metal
lovebirds.
birds?
Okay, that's not the topic. I said, do you want weird news or do you want good news?
Oh, weird.
So the weird news is, obviously we've been working on your ship with Nico. It's a pretty interesting model, albeit a little old. We've been souping her up a bit, and I've been checking out the engine. It runs on mist. I've seen this technology before because in all openness, and he kind of brings his goggles down and you see he too has the third eye of the Imperial, and he says, all openness, I am ex-Empire, but...
That's why he did that. One guy didn't like him.
Oh.
I get it now. That's why. No offense to you.
And he says, none taken.
Do you know Gregor?
Don't think they just know everyone from there.
I don't know. I mean...
He he kind of looks at you for a second, and he thinks, he's like, Gregor Remnovikov?
That sounds right. I didn't
don't
get a
know Gregor's
last name.
but yeah.
Sure, he's some military grunt.
Okay. What about Prince number 2?
Prince?
Yeah. Or 3? Is he 2 or 3?
Anyway,
He's second in line.
Is he number 2?
I
Pick
don't
number 3, my lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it seems like he's probably...
I left it for a reason.
Oh.
So, anyway, the weird news. I've seen this kind of tech before. It's, weirdly enough, has been used before a couple of cataclysms ago, before it was outlawed.
And it was made by a guy named Sid.
This may have been, too.
Is it right? That's where we heard the name Sid before, right? Was the person who made our ship.
But this used to... This particular type of machinery used to be used to tap into the life stream and convert it into energy.
Right.
It's been outlawed since then, everywhere,
Right.
because it sucked the life stream out of the planet and nearly killed it.
That seems fair.
Well, the weird part
It's an
is
allegory
that
for gasoline.
this engine can take the mist and do the same thing with it, meaning that the mist is somehow related
Live stream.
to the life stream.
Wait, so does that... How long has the mist existed?
No definitive record of it, but basically as long as anybody has records.
Okay. But it's related to the live stream, but sucking up the mist isn't destroying the live stream?
I don't study the live stream. I'm just saying it's somehow related to one another. So,
Okay. So we shouldn't fix the boat.
well, you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, I've been fixing your airship and I'm outfitting it with a new engine to burn cerulean. So,
Okay, I don't know how much I trust cerulean.
cerulean's a viable source.
Sure, but it burns forever.
And that's the good thing to keep the engines going.
It's great until it burns the desert forever. Really just non-flashes.
Right. Well, be sure not to do that with the new engine.
It's not us that does it.
Well, sounds like you're gonna probably need a crew then if none of you know how to steer it.
Oh no, we know how to drive it. We learned how to drive it.
We had another ship for like
we also
20
learned
minutes.
we also learned how to crash it
I could tell that from
and
the shape
catch it
that
on
it's in.
fire, blow holes in the side of
Same
it.
ship?
Right. It is the same ship.
Oh, I thought this was a model
Yeah,
ship.
no, this is the same ship.
Never mind.
But he says, well, I've got my crew working on it. It's an interesting piece of equipment. So
How long until it's fixed?
probably tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, perfect. I wonder if how we could get to where we need to go a lot faster then with the ship.
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant by we have alternative.
Yeah.
Also, while antiques are good and all, I've replaced all of the wood on the ship besides,
So it's fireproof now. Fire resistant.
well,
Less likely to catch on fire.
yes.
Perfect.
I was not conscious, but my
Did
understanding
you
is that's a
repair
good, very
the
good thing.
oddly body-shaped hole in one of the lower cabins?
We just ripped all the wood out.
That's good. That's good.
We kept mainly the same shape-ish. A couple of, no offense, Imperial modifications. But
that's fine. We found it underground in a cave, so
it is an antique.
yeah, a guy named Sid made it and designed the engine.
That's what you just said.
I know, it's just really coincidence that you're a guy named Sid and you're modifying it for us. How old are you?
That's rude.
Just forward.
Listen, I'm young enough to know, or young enough to feel good about what I know how to do, so leave me to it.
I attracted to Sid. Feel about. I don't know. That was.
That was a good line.
I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
that hit.
Becky, while they're speaking, make me a perception check.
All right. A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. While everybody is speaking, and this is all fascinating and everything, you look down the stairs into the Ember Market, and you see, while it is getting darker here, you catch two figures down in the Ember Market. Both of them Gria. Both of them ebony-winged Gria.
Do they see me?
No. They are currently, dealing with a couple of people in stalls.
Do I recognize these, Gria?
Maybe not from this distance, but it definitely is probably somebody from your tribe.
I'm going to change my cape of disguise to just, pitch black.
Okay.
And kind of wrap it around me and pull the hood up, and I'm gonna kind of get a little close.
All right. They go ahead and roll me a stealth check with advantage, since you probably stick into the shadows.
Yeah.
They're not really looking for you.
That's a whole 12.
12. It's enough. Like I said, they are not looking for you. DC was 10. There is an kind of an older woman, elderly, Gria female, kind of gray hair, curly but pulled back, wearing the tabby of an elder of your village. You get close enough to overhear her speaking to the person in the stall, and you immediately recognize her as the only person in your village to have given you any sort of thoughts, and even borrow you a couple of books, Miss Shinsetsu. She is bartering over, they've brought some fish, and she's bartering over trying to get some herbs from this particular stall, and you're kind of focused on her, but then the other person that is next to her turns just slightly enough for you to see this woman, this focal point of all the rage that you have ever held in your heart. There stands your mother, hasn't noticed you. There stands Vonnie Blaize. What do you do?
I think she's just leaning against the wall and just staring daggers at her. She's just kind of breathing really hard. And I don't think she notices until her hand starts to hurt that she's grabbed the hilt of her dagger and is just white knuckling, holding onto it. I think holding herself back, because maybe a few weeks ago she had this chance, she would have, but in a month's time she's taken part in wars and literally died, and so I think she's bided her time this one.
As you feel that pain kind of course through your knuckle as you are just squeezing that dagger in your hand, the face turns and immediately sees you. And that is where we'll pick up next episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, make sure, guys, to tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Campaigns of the Plains channel. Catch new material every Friday on YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.